deck, and it's. Well, we need you to find a component.
Hello, welcome to the Enginerdy Show. This is Mr. Pold.
I'm St. Jimmy.
I'm DVD.
Nice to meet you. D. Haircut or two,
Yeah, probably 3 or 4.
3 or
I
4
have
haircuts.
really big hairs,
Hmm.
kind of flat.
Flat and that have like a hair-like texture.
Yes, like a skin flap that's got. No, I'm just kidding.
You.
It's disgusting.
Yes. And on that note,
Our fake sponsor this week is Comic Con. Come see the perfect stand-up comedy show titled The Laugh of Con.
that sounds fun. I would watch it.
I'd go see that.
I would definitely. It's got a pun in the name. Pun.
Wordplay.
Word. Well, it could be.
That's
Word.
kind of a pun. Comic Con.
Well, pun.
Oh,
The laugh. It's using words that sound similar for humorous effect.
Our YouTube feed may or may not be working.
Our
camera's
screen
on.
went black.
Hey, camera.
Okay.
I think my computer's going.
Well, we're still recording audio, so
We're still
Oh, great.
recruiting.
we went pumpkin patching.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
I
Oh, we
remember when
haven't
I
done
used
that.
to do
Yeah,
that.
we haven't done that in a while. I guess 2 years ago we went with LFG.
Oh. Yeah, we go to this place south of here about an hour. It's fun. They've got
You wouldn't think they have pumpkins in South Africa,
they have
Mauritania.
like animals you can pet. They have a corn maze. They
That's
have
Northwest.
They have pumpkins.
Kern maze.
pumpkins. They have a
have one of
hay
those-
maze.
Did I have a theme in the corn maze?
Yeah, it was Lou
Yeah.
Gehrig's disease.
Oh,
That was the theme.
I
Yeah.
thought it'd been hay fever.
It had a picture of Lou Gehrig and it said ALS along the bottom. And
Sounds festive.
across the top, it had the name of the farm.
Hmm.
So we got pumpkins.
Yeah. Turkeys. We went one time and they had turkeys.
No.
It was weird.
I pet chickens.
It's a little different to carve turkeys than it is to carve pumpkins.
Yeah. Top, it had the name of the farm. So we got pumpkins.
Yeah.
We're gonna
But they
carve
have
them up.
turkeys. We went one time and they had turkeys.
No.
It was weird.
I pet.
Different to carve turkeys than it is to carve pumpkins.
Yeah, a little bit different. It's hard to
Usually
get
you
the
cook 'em first.
scrape.
The hat.
That's disturbing.
They have, which my 6-year-old went back 3 times to hold.
Petting and holding. I was picturing like kittens on a
You
stick.
can buy them, but why would you want that? They had kittens, which my 6-year-old went back 3 times to hold and pet.
Oh, they're for petting and holding. I was picturing like kittens on a
You
stick.
can buy them, but why would you want that? And
They put it on a little string around it and then fill it full of helium.
oh, in the
floating around.
in the pen marked rabbits, there were 2 goats. It's like, those are the biggest rabbits I've ever seen.
I saw a picture. It was a carved relief one.
Beat
Apparently, or they have just
They had some young goats. They had a sheep, a couple of piglets, and some
she
ponies.
said they had young goats too.
Oh, yeah. It's fun.
It's got Amelia West.
Rainy, so there weren't that many people there.
That's always good.
Took a hayride.
Hey, give me a
Soggy
ride.
hay. Oh, just kidding.
No, the
It's covered.
wagon was covered.
A covered
Oh.
wagon.
Yeah.
Technologically advanced.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, Well, we got bad news today that it's not running.
Oh,
Head gasket.
bad.
It does sound bad because it is.
I know. We've replaced the head
There's
gasket, the three of us before.
$2,000.
Yeah, it's gonna be
You're
a
gonna
lot.
have someone else do it.
Yes. Yeah.
You don't want to torture
I
yourself.
got the PDF manual for
we
repair.
already have the angle
That's
grinder.
like 4,300
Yeah.
pages.
Oh,
So I searched there and found the head gasket. After you get to, I think it was 88 parts to remove to get to it, and then it's got one step: replace head gasket. Oh man,
It doesn't look that bad looking in the engine
Oh,
compartment,
it's
but
not
bad.
like a minivan.
I think you have to
there's-
drop. It's kind of like that,
Is it?
the engine is transverse.
Mm.
and it's
And-
tucked back.
Yeah.
Comes up.
That sounds hard.
It was.
It'd
easy.
probably be easier
Oh.
to just replace the engine because it'd have all the steps except for the head gasket.
I replaced the mirror on my truck.
That sounds hard.
It was.
It'd
easy.
probably be easier
Oh.
just because it'd have all the steps except for the
Replace
replace head gasket.
It got into the car. I'd have to
Just adjust it, and then we'll tack weld it.
Well, I just bought a phone on
There you go.
Amazon house.
Does it match the other side? Cool.
It looks good. In fact, well, it doesn't quite match because it's clean.
You should clean the other
But
one.
it's got chrome on it and it's really shiny.
Oh,
So it's like I better drive through some mud puddles or something.
just rub some dirt on it.
Your computer's slow.
But now it works good.
It sounds like.
It's laboring.
What if I should pull the side off and clean?
Probably
So I
wouldn't
took
hurt.
some training this week
Training.
at our job, learning how to do finite
Engineer.
element analysis.
Took that class for that
I did.
training.
It
Yeah, I
was a
did that
very
also.
frustrating class. Instructor kind of went
Oh boy.
kind of fast, and if you miss one click of you click something wrong, it's like all of a sudden you're behind.
I think
Yeah,
I had
you're, like,
several
way
instances
behind.
where I was keeping up, and then because I have the station of knowing, people would, hey, how did you get? And
How
then
did you get to
try
that?
to help them, and then I'm
I
behind.
made the mistake of thinking and work ahead, and then realize
Where the bathroom is?
they gave out binders with all the notes in class. Well, I was looking at my notebook that isn't numbered, and it says presentation. Like a golden ticket. Only my book had it.
Oh, you won
And
the
so
prize.
At one walked down the aisle and said, "Oh, looks like you got the lucky. You get to come to the front of the class next activity." I'm like, okay. So I got up there and went through it. Everyone helped me out. All do it together, but it was fine. I had no problem with it.
Fine. What?
Finite.
Yeah,
Finite.
It was finite.
I
Yeah, I guess I don't have a problem speaking in group. Come to the front of the class next activity. I'm like, okay. So I got up there and went through it, everything out, so we could all do it together. But it was fine. I had no problem with it. Would
it
probably
was fine. What?
finite. Yes, it was
Finite.
finite.
I
Yeah, I get speaking in front of groups of people anymore.
I only speak to people that's later.
Well, I had a couple friends in the class. So, oh, it was fine.
we're trying to toss into sending us a bunch of us, or some of us. Those who will probably get their first shot at it. Big training class. It's 2 weeks at MIT.
Oh, that's
So I
cool.
could say I went to MIT.
Yeah, you could.
Does it want to do it so I can get the nerd cred?
Ah, maybe. nerd cred that you want to do.
It's
Crafty with
I
your
think
password.
the
Using
on there.
password is just not good enough.
But the computer because
Bad.
so my kids know my password. I think
Oh.
I was like, change it. I was so
Yeah,
That's-
I've done a lot of walking because the like
I think it was that far.
it's like 0.8 on Google,
Hmm.
and half of it's
Both ways.
no, just the one way.
Oh, it's not the same building I was thinking it was in. It's in the training building.
Yes, it's at
Oh,
the
when I
top
took
of that
it, it was
hill.
in the Crystal Palace.
Oh, that's no. There's
No,
There's an elevator.
that's where my office used to be.
right on the same building.
Oh,
Oh, but it's the one that is up the hill. It's quite a hike.
we got to.
Well, and then down the hill,
That's the same place I had my training when I first started, and the boat we took got us there. So it was late every day, walking fast. But then I had that hill right at the end,
oh,
so I was constantly like, and I was just like sweaty.
yeah, I
like,
was always sweaty when I got in the
it's
class.
horrible.
What I did is I took an earlier boat so that I
That would have been smart.
wasn't late.
I was
Sounds
quitting with
hard.
St. Jimmy, so we were.
Oh, okay. Yeah, had other people to consider.
Yep.
Any earlier than I absolutely have to.
My body wants to wake me up 6 hours after I go to bed.
Oh,
So
it wants
this
to keep me
morning it
awake
was
6
4
hours before I
o'clock.
wake up.
Like,
I can get up. Like I don't get much. I can sleep in too. So I'm like,
I can only be in bed so long before I absolutely have to get up.
interesting. You're more of a morning person than either one of us. I think
Yes.
I'm more of a morning person than you.
Took me a while to realize I was a morning person. It all makes sense now.
I'm definitely not. I'm a night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, should we do some
Let's
nerdiculture, or do
do
you have
it.
more banter?
No, I think we're bantered out.
Oh, you're all bantered up.
Sure.
Feed them to the banter.
Speaking of banthas, no, it. So
Banter poodoo.
So I saw this study that some biologists were doing in Africa.
Oh, I
And
know them.
more specifically, Uganda and Madagascar.
Oh, specifically, so on the East Coast.
No.
Well, that's the Indian Ocean, isn't it?
Yeah.
Madagascar is in the Indian Ocean.
Indian Ocean is basically just
Uganda is
West
like in the
Pacific.
center of the continent, about a
By-
little bit to the
Is that by Lake
east.
Chad?
No, it's southeast of there.
Okay. By Madagascar?
Not really.
Oh.
It's by Rwanda and
Help
Kenya.
Rwanda.
Help Rwanda. Help Rwanda. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, they were finding that there is some types of trees that have totally different fruit in
What?
different parts of the world.
That reminds me of a joke.
Okay.
How many apples come from a tree?
All of them. Anyway, so the trees in Uganda have these fruit that are red.
Apples?
They're not apples.
So they call them something different? Is it apples but in their language?
No. In
Apples.
Madagascar, yellow, and it smells very strongly. And so what they figured out the reason is because the animals in Uganda that eat the fruit are chimpanzees that have tricolor vision.
Oh.
And they can see the red no problem, especially, against the green. The trees in Madagascar, that fruit's eaten by lemurs who are like red-green colorblind.
Oh, so they have to be also they can see them.
Yeah, and they also
and fruit is something that they want. The plant wants something to eat.
exactly.
to spread its seeds.
Yes. So usually animals want to avoid being eaten, but plants like their
Some of
fruit
them.
being eaten.
Eat me.
Yeah, some of them.
I was thinking for to finish.
But they're
No, I was just
they also mentioned this fruit that's in Uganda that is tempting for elephants to eat. Like the fruit seems to, make itself so the elephant will want to eat it. But it's this really large fruit, and the elephant is the only mammal that has a large enough digestive tract to poop out the seeds.
whoa.
So they're pretty big seeds.
Yeah, I would think.
And I guess there's
TMI, dude.
there's some fruit that has like a laxative type component to it, so that the animal will, release the seeds in a more timely manner.
Release the seeds.
Which makes me wonder why the animal would keep eating those if they give them the runs.
It probably gives them some kind of psychedelic effect
They
or
probably taste
a
good.
buzz.
Yeah, there you go. That's another thing. The plants
Have
make
you
the
seen-
fruit taste good.
You see
So
videos of plants
explain
that have eaten-
lemons.
I don't know how to explain lemons.
Oh, we used to feed lemons to Zach when he was a toddler, and he'd make this really funny face, but then reach for it again.
Well, I like lemon drops sometimes.
And he's been making a funny face ever since.
Ever since.
That's true. I do like lemonade sometimes.
Just don't make lemonade in your
It's
pants.
just like
What do you think I am, a Stephen King movie?
I just quoted it. Yay.
it's just
Go
weird
change my
that,
number to add one.
that a plant would evolve something that it wanted you to eat, but that it was really sour.
It's a really
Yeah, that is
complicated
weird.
system, isn't it?
Limes are good.
Yeah, so
Coconuts.
is the plants making the fruit the animals like to eat driving
Chicken and
it,
egg, dude.
or is the animals eating their fruit driving it?
Could be both.
Yeah, that's what the biologists are saying. It's like,
Co-evolving.
yes.
That's like these flowers that are shaped like female wasps, so that male wasps will
They're like, hubba,
land on them.
hubba.
But then there are species of wasp that have gone extinct, but they still have these flowers, and now the flowers are endangered because nobody's pollinating them.
Oh.
It's
Well, it's also like
scientists
the
should give it a shot.
avocados. They have such a big seed in them because they were around when they had the megafauna
The sloth.
that would eat the avocados, and then poop out the seeds.
So what are you saying about me if I like eating avocados?
Are
Don't
you
eat the
pooping out the
seed.
seeds? Ugh. Don't eat the whole thing at once. Cut it open.
I thought you were
and-
calling me a large person.
No, but you
You're
are
prehistoric in
sloth-like.
size.
Oh.
You're calling me old and big.
DVD, the megafauna.
That's your new nickname, Megafauna.
It's better than Megaflora.
Instead of like, what was his name?
Megatron.
Yeah, Megatron for the lions. Megafauna.
I'm gonna eat those avocados.
And that's nerdiculture.
Interesting.
Okay, for Technerdy. So Russia has been the country shuttling astronauts to the space station.
Last week was the anniversary of the Sputnik being launched.
Oh.
Like 61 years ago or something.
That's cool.
It's a
Anyway.
long time ago.
So the U.S. currently doesn't have the capability to launch astronauts to the space station.
That's why it's no longer NASA that took that out. It's now nah. To go to
So-
space? Nah.
Uh-uh.
Mm. So we've been relying on Russian Soyuz capsules and rockets. Well, last week or earlier this week,
I
should
like
probably
the
just pull up the
Soyuz
article.
sauce. Just kidding.
It was it was a week ago.
It's just because the Russian ones like bring your pets.
Oh,
So a week ago, last Thursday.
on the birthday of Sputnik.
Actually, Enginerdy Show episode 294, I believe.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's how I keep track of time.
They American astronaut and a Russian cosmonaut were in the Soyuz capsule on a rocket, and they launched. And within a couple minutes of launch, one or more of the booster rockets failed to detach, and so the rocket automatically ejected the capsule to return safely to Earth.
Short trip.
Yeah, so they went up.
Unfortunately, the capsule is 2 feet across.
Well, you did say the
Oh, wait.
capsule is so
Just
used.
kidding.
So
Yeah. So they said a warning light came on, and like 1 second later, the ejection system activated, and
I hate it when that happens in my car.
they
The warning
landed.
light
too.
comes on and it ejects you out the
Yeah.
sunroof.
Oh, mine just ejects an engine out the bottom.
So it's the Star Trek warp drive
Yeah.
solution.
The poor
It's
guy
gonna
behind me on the
blow.
road.
Eject.
So they landed in Kazakhstan,
As you
Uh-oh.
would. It's a big country, kind of.
and then they flew back
Biggish.
to.
If they can fly, why don't they just fly to space?
Then they flew back to Russia for the investigation.
Which Kazakhstan borders Russia, so
Yeah. But Russia's big.
Russia's bigger than Kazakhstan.
Just slightly.
So
Not for long. Then soon Kazakhstan will be part of Russia again.
the problem is those astronauts were going to replace the crew that's been up there for a while.
I thought you said the problem was they landed in Kazakhstan and didn't have their passports.
Yeah,
We were trying to get to Kyrgyzstan.
So the people on this space station now, there's 3 of them, and they were supposed to be coming home soon.
So they died.
No,
Oh.
they're still up there. They said they actually have plenty of supplies for
Oh, okay.
them,
Send food.
and
But their bones have disappeared.
we can actually send food and stuff if we
Giant
need
slingshot.
to. With
Are they going to send yellow or red fruit?
well, they can.
Are they colorblind?
I don't think they're colorblind,
Okay,
so
good.
they're probably going to send red fruit.
All right.
Oh, that's so Russian of them.
Oh, common fruit. No,
The
but
hunt for red fruit
so they do have
in
a
October.
It is October.
vehicle up there that they could return the astronauts to Earth in, but they don't want to leave this.
It's a pram.
They don't want to leave the space station unoccupied because if anything goes wrong,
It's supposed to be because the computer was asking.
Because
"What
of
are
the
you
alien
doing,
squatters.
Dave?"
well, they can remote control everything on it, but if there's a mechanical failure and nobody's there to fix it, then basically
Goes all gravity on
the
them.
space station is unusable if it's not fixed
That's
right
why
away.
they should tether it to the moon.
So they don't want to leave it
That's
unoccupied.
kind of far.
They come back and it's up on blocks.
Somebody stole the solar panels.
Oh, it's in a bad solar
Oh
neighborhood.
no!
Not again. So there is coming up within the next year private company capacity or capability to send people to the space station. So they're thinking if Russia can't get a mission together soon enough, then they might try to accelerate the timetable on like the Falcon heavy rocket, or
Nice.
I think the other one they said was like Boeing or something is making a.
Is that a spring? It goes boing, boing.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean a
It's
Boeing.
the
joke.
Dragon is the
Oh, okay. Yeah.
SpaceX Dragon or
Is
the
it a
Boeing
green dragon or a
Starliner.
gold dragon or
So
a
you-
red dragon?
Don't know.
It's an ancient one.
Mm.
So this is basically happening because when the US announced that they were going to retire the shuttle in 10 years, they made absolutely no
You're gonna make a
real
replacement
effort to replace it.
Nah.
And so it's basically up to other countries or the private sector to take over the ferrying of people to and from the space station. Which there's pros and cons to that.
That's when you go someplace you should leave people.
They should have left people on the moon.
I was thinking
Back
like
in the
when we came to
60s?
the New World, they didn't just come and hang out off the coast. They just left people and start
Oh,
colonizing.
Chinese did.
So we should colonize.
The space station?
Yes.
I think we already have.
They make it bigger. Every time you set it up, we should have another module.
Well, they are adding on modules.
Like I'm still thinking Civ 2. Just keep on
Just make it bigger till your probability of success
till
is
we get to Alpha
100%,
Centauri. Yeah.
and you hit
Let's go.
launch. And there's a cutscene.
And I get to control the people we put on it. The manifest, crew manifest.
For a second, I thought you said Banana Fest.
That's something different.
We're going to Mars! Banana Fest! Wait, what?
Would bananas still be yellow on Mars?
I think they'd be red because of the trichromatic.
I thought you were going to
vision.
say because of the chimpanzees.
Yes.
It depends. Are we sending lemurs or chimpanzees?
Both. That would be red and yellow striped.
So they can both.
Well,
I'm sure, pretty sure
chimpanzees can still
chimpanzees.
see yellow.
Yeah, they eat bananas, don't they?
You don't know that.
All those red bananas. I guess
No,
there
you
are
never
some
see
types of bananas
chimps
that are
eating
not yellow.
Bananas.
I never see chimps, so
That's probably good.
Do you think chimpanzees think that the word chimp is a derogatory term?
Probably.
No,
I don't know.
think
Ask
they
one.
do.
They don't think about it.
Last time I asked one, it threw poop at me, so maybe they do.
I think so. Then I think that proves it.
And that's Technergy.
Was it full of seeds? The poop.
Oh, I wasn't looking.
Oh, okay.
It didn't taste like it.
Oh, I got some in my mouth.
It's gritty.
Oh,
Ew. So, a Navy yard in
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Thank you. I couldn't find the article on my phone. It went away, which is nice. They contracted a group that does fixtures, and they installed a bunch of inflatable tentacles coming out of one of the buildings. So it looks like it's got an octopus or something inside.
That's
If
funny.
you were to have an inflatable animal coming out of your building, what would it be? Turtle. I'd be really like
You could have the
inflatable
head
like
coming
it's-
out the front
that'd be
door and
funny.
then legs coming out the sides.
I think I'd make mine like an animal look like it had been smashed, like the building fell on it. So it's like,
oh.
like all the engineers are gonna look like when the building collapses.
Yeah. Wait for it.
Yeah,
There it is.
Oh, all right.
Hey,
Oh, sorry.
all
Maybe I'll
right.
do this on my phone instead. It'd be
Oh, that's
It'd
probably
probably
a
be
good idea.
faster.
okay. Go ahead with your story.
And that's the news.
Whoa.
That's it.
Slow
I
news
hope you
day.
guys have a lot of consumption.
I do.
I didn't write anything down, so I'm not going to remember it.
Oh.
boy. That's why you go
So
to your
what
Netflix.
disc did you get that I owed through the mail?
The what?
What
Which movie did you
DVD
watch?
did
That you
you
got?
get?
I
I
watched. Are we doing?
Oh, let's do consumption.
Okay. I watched Jumanji again.
Oh,
I have that one.
the new one?
I figured.
Oh, the new one? I don't have the new one.
Yes. Yeah,
I thought
good.
about
I
buying
still
it
like
on
it.
Amazon.
What?
it's still funny.
So I'm trying to sell a boat, and I got someone asked me how big the boat is, and I told them, and they replied back, "Oh, okay, that's too small. Thanks." Why do I care? There's lots of people looking at it.
If you want to buy DVD's boat,
Yes,
find him on Facebook.
it's a
I
lovely
did-
drift boat with a trailer.
I did watch an episode of Norseman.
Oh, I saw that on Netflix.
It's pretty risque.
Is it
Yes.
season 1? I don't remember. I just remembered it. I thought it was funny.
It was funny. I'm not saying it wasn't.
The first part, the captive in the boat, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I have a problem. I don't remember all the bad stuff, I guess.
Oh, okay. I'm just, for more
Oh,
more
right.
sensitive listeners.
It's Swedish.
Be careful
so
with it. So, what else did I watch? Oh, I
No
watched
idea.
the first season of. I think it's called. It's like an X-Men spinoff.
Oh yeah, I've watched the
So I
first
didn't-
season.
Technically, I didn't watch the first few episodes directly. I was in the room when it was on,
Oh, okay.
but
Is that the one I'm thinking of?
it's
I think so.
mutants, and they're being
Mutants.
hunted, and by the government.
That's telling him his family turns out to need to run too.
Yes.
Yes, that is the one I was thinking of. Not as good as
Kooky.
Heroes, I don't think.
Well, it's a entertaining enough show.
Yeah, it's not Heroes. Heroes was
A lot of
Awesome.
things aren't heroes.
I've never been able to finish all the seasons of Heroes.
no. You just gotta watch season 1.
Anyway, what else did I watch? I don't think I watched anything else. If I think of something, I'll throw it
Chime
on
in.
at the end.
All right.
Okay. I watched a movie with I suddenly can't remember his name.
Willem Dafoe,
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, I did
Robert Picardo,
no.
Picard Roberto.
I saw a show
So-
with him in it recently.
The movie's called The Vampire's Assistant. It's based on a book series called Cirque du Freak.
Okay.
It was pretty good. I think it's geared towards teenagers maybe, but it's basically these two best friends
They're really popular.
one's like this super good kid and the other one's kind of the troublemaker kid.
Oh,
They go to this freak show and end up getting involved with this group of vampires.
as one does.
And yeah, it's kind of like
It's a movie.
it's a movie. It was cute. I don't know. It was good. I enjoyed it. I've seen it on there for a while.
It's on Netflix. You said.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. And we finally just watched it and it's pretty good. I almost had that guy's name again. Michael C. Riley.
Is that one guy?
No, it's the other guy.
See the one with the hurricane named after him?
Yes. Oh, yeah, it would be faster to look it up not on this computer.
Right, because the computer is super slow.
Okay, I also watched season 8 of The Walking Dead.
I
Just
never
the
made it that
latest
far.
season that's on Netflix.
So they were in another settlement?
Well, they're basically just
John C. Riley.
John C. Riley. Thank you. I must
But
have been
there's still
being-
zombies in The Walking Dead, or is this after that? And it's
Yeah,
just
there
their
are.
home life.
No, it's basically these communities that are in contention against this group called the Saviors that are trying to subjugate them and treat them poorly, and their fight against them. And that encompasses the entire season. This is the second season of straight of them fighting this one bad guy and his.
So the writers
group.
have given up.
I don't know. I thought it was really good.
Okay.
You're
They just have a lot of
the whole time you're just
grounded
like,
till.
would somebody please just shoot the guy? Like there's so many times where they could have just shot the guy, and they don't do it. They talk to him or threaten him, or it's like
Oh, it
he's
sounds like,
standing there. You could just point your gun at him and shoot him.
but that's violence.
Uh-oh. The
Ready
computer
for takeoff.
fan
It's
has
gonna go
kicked
replace
up a
the.
notch.
It's gonna replace the astronaut for us. Hope it doesn't blow up or catch fire.
Well, at least we're still recording on the mixer.
That's true.
So that was pretty good. The ending of the season was good. I enjoyed it. So we watched a horror movie called Truth or Dare. It's basically these college students spend the night in this house where these kids like 20 years or 30 years before had played this game of Truth or Dare that led to most of their deaths.
I think you're doing it wrong.
Well, then they find out that the house actually is haunted and it's making them do the dares, or it will kill them if they fail. Or some of the dares lead to them dying just from
Interesting.
failing to, what they're doing is dangerous and it leads to them dying.
Watch
or-
C-SPAN for 30 hours. No.
So, yeah, it was pretty good. A lot of gore.
Is it making them give them outrageous dares?
It comes up with the dares.
Oh, the house does?
Yeah. Or true. Sometimes it just asks them a question, and if they lie, then it kills them.
Oh,
So
so they're playing it right.
if you lie, you die. the Hugh Jackman and Kate Beckinsale Van Helsing.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it would be better if they cut out some of the silly things, I think. For me,
Oh.
that detracts from it, but it is actually pretty creepy.
Yeah.
Like, before I just rewatched it, thinking back, I was like, oh, the kids would like that because it's kind of silly. But then we watched it, I'm like, no way. The kids are not watching this. So, it's good. We watched a boat movie called Poseidon about a cruise ship that gets broadsided by a rogue wave and tips over.
Is this the original
Oh,
one
is
or
this
the
the
remake?
Poseidon Adventure?
No, it's just called Poseidon.
So it's a remake
It's
Is it older or is it
from the
newer?
70s.
no, it's
Okay.
2000s.
Oh, okay, so it is probably a remake.
But they basically have to get out of the boat before it sinks.
How long did it take them to figure out it's upside down?
Well, when they when they fell onto the ceiling, they realized.
I remember the Poseidon Adventure is a pretty good movie.
How did they get out?
I don't remember.
They had to try to cut a hole in the bottom. And I was like, that's probably pretty thick still. It'd take a lot to cut through it.
Well, and you're gonna let the air out that's keeping you afloat. But these
That's
guys
true.
figured out how to get out. Some of them, not everybody makes it.
Right.
Oh, spoiler.
In a G.I. Joe episode, they went down to the bottom of the ocean and there was a old aircraft carrier with a guy on it, and they ended up bringing it to the surface. And one of the characters got the bends.
Oh, I remember somebody. That's where I first learned about
think
the
there's
bends.
Battle. Yeah, I think me too. I think there's some android troopers, the bat robot things.
Oh,
So they can actually
yeah,
kill stuff in the
right.
show.
And we watched Blade. Blade and Blade 2 are on Netflix now.
Nice. I like those.
It's good. It's Blade is a guy that was born shortly after his mom was bitten by a vampire, so he has super strength and relies on drinking blood, but he can go out during the day and garlic and silver don't affect him. But he basically hunts vampires. He's a vampire hunter. And yeah, then the vampires are trying to resurrect some blood
There's
god.
a lot of vampires and undead in your.
It's
And
October.
ghosts.
Oh, that's true. And none of us had any overlap this week,
Yeah,
which is interesting.
that's all I had.
So I watched it.
It's
That oddly enough had vampires in it.
about chihuahuas.
I didn't watch any vampire shows.
No, it had.
Hurry up.
I don't really care for vampires.
Oh,
This one was weird. It's
Or
like a buddy
zombies.
cop show where this guy and his partner go into this place looking for this girl that was kidnapped, and they find her like hanging from the ceiling, dripping blood into a bucket.
mm,
And there is a vampire that they didn't know about vampires, and it kills his partner. But then he finds out that vampires just revealed themselves to society, and they've been keeping themselves secret. And there was a rogue vampire that wasn't wanting to fit in like the rest of the vampires.
mm.
So there's a big long. It's got the guy from Highlander, the TV series, plays a vampire. Anyway, it was pretty good. I liked it. I recognize the main human lead guy. I don't remember what he's from or anything. Then I watched Death Stalker, which is a late 70s like Conan the Barbarian type movie.
Okay.
It was not probably worth watching. I think I was Minecrafting while I was doing it or watching it, so it was on. But I think I had it small because had some kind of plan for what I was building up on the screen. And then I watched, based on your recommendation, Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh yeah.
I loved it. It was probably the best favorite thing. Almost second favorite thing I watched this week. I really enjoyed it. It points a lot to how different our society is nowadays than it used to be. Definitely holds up, I think, as far as comedy. It's worth watching.
Yeah.
It's very good.
It's rated PG.
Yes, it is.
This was before they had PG-13.
right.
So there is some swearing and stuff in it. And
Barely.
innuendo.
I don't remember any windows, but then I watched Time Machine.
The Time Machine
It might be the Time Machine. It's a more newer one.
with Guy Pearce.
The manure one.
The more newer.
Oh, is there seeds in that manure?
yes.
The
It
Guy,
tasted like it.
Guy Pearce one.
I don't know what a Guy Pearce is.
He's an actor.
It's the one where they blew up half the moon.
Yeah.
There's like the one guy that is like the computer that survives or
From the
something.
library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked the fight scene with the
Morlocks.
yeah. Except for it seemed kind of I don't know. All of a sudden they had match strength, it felt like when they're grappling with each other. It's like just throw them out. Said the Morlock, but he didn't get thrown off. So that's good. Watch that. Oh, and then I watched 2 episodes of Game of Thrones season 6 last night.
Oh.
I almost didn't watch season 6 because my favorite character died in season 5.
Spoilers.
He'll be back.
I didn't tell you who the favorite character was, and lots of people get stabbed to death in that movie.
Oh,
Or
true.
But then it got really good, and then I left it on a really, really bad cliffhanger
Oh.
last night. I'm like, I just did a second episode, and then looked at the clock. It was 10:45. I was like, dang it, I can't watch another one. So I couldn't watch it today either because I was busy. Oh, and then I didn't watch, even though I was in the room. What's the all-female cast where they rob something?
Ocean's 8.
Ocean's 8. I got that for my wife for her birthday. This is the show I can talk about it. And she's like, let's watch my new movie. I was like, I thought you were going to watch that with the girl. She's like, yeah, we haven't found time yet. And I want to watch it. So luckily I was really
I can
tired.
do your nails.
I think it was Friday, so I was sleepy. So like 5 minutes in, I was asleep.
Nice.
It was great. I was like, oh, they did that stupid trope where, oh, we want to change this whole franchise. So we'll have one of the main characters from the last one be implied that are dead. Like it's a symbolic burying of the previous series. Anyway, so I didn't watch that.
Okay.
I remembered something.
Sacre
I
bleu.
started listening to the History of the English Language podcast.
That's a good one. I like that one.
I like that.
I think I'm on like episode 13.
Skip ahead
or
and listen to
something.
the one about numbers.
I'm not going to skip ahead.
It doesn't matter. It's
It's
not like
history.
they build on it.
I'm all
Oh.
caught up on that one.
Cool.
Oh, we had watched the or listened to the numbers one on the way to family reunion this past summer.
Oh.
That's where I learned that I can't remember what Sumerians, but they used a base 12 number system. They said you can actually count to 12 using your thumb and
Yeah.
your 4 fingers with 3 spots on each finger. I was like, oh, that's clever.
Hmm.
And they used one of them used 60, I think, as a base because it's really easy to divide into different things evenly. You can
Like
divide it into like
pi?
3,
It's
4.
divisible by
5.
12, 6, 3.
It's evenly divisible by pi. Just kidding.
So, but they were using it numbers for commerce, so it made it sense if you're especially you're in business.
Get it? Sense.
Yes.
I
All right, let's do
Anyway,
some nerd
moving on.
cred.
thought we were.
Oh, I actually
Just
have
kidding.
nerd cred today. So we've been talking about this. I've got a couple co-workers and that want to play D&D.
Hopefully, they're still.
Well, one of them is actually
Ooh,
so,
Brought
Yeah.
together by D&D.
no.
they haven't played yet.
They haven't played yet. Anyway, so DVD lent me one of his books.
Which pains me deeply.
I know it does, but I'm gonna borrow it for a few more days, like another week. Well, I'm thinking if I help my coworkers create their characters during lunch,
Yes,
then it will save time when their girlfriend and fiance come over to my house, so we don't have to spend the whole entire time.
so-
You're
creating
supposed to have a
characters.
girlfriend and a fiance.
Well, anyway, so I got the idea. Hey, I'll try to make a spreadsheet where I can just plug in the race, class, and background and everything. And I quickly got into the weeds.
Oh, you do really quickly. I have one I've started that is,
I've got as far as it spitting out what kind of proficiencies you have in weapons.
I have an app that does that. It was pretty cheap.
Oh yeah. Well, I've got a spreadsheet with
I've got one I've started too.
stuff
so.
that. Well, it's kind of tricky because some of them overlap with each other, and you don't want them to list it twice. And so, yeah, it was challenging. It was
You
fun.
are a huge nerd.
I might take it up again later.
See, what's actually killing me more than letting you borrow that one book is
Yeah.
I cannot find my monster manual anywhere.
Oh, man.
No.
I don't know where it is.
See, the other
The
book you
Monster
lent
Book of
me, I got
Monsters?
it back to you within a couple of days. Remember
Which one?
the
Yeah, it showed up. I
supplemental
thought
one?
you'd borrowed it, and I was like, that's why I thought maybe you had a
Well,
monster
you
manual.
seemed kind of reluctant to let me keep it overnight.
Yeah.
So the next day or the day after that, I dropped it by your house.
Okay. That was when we were towing the car.
Yeah.
Oh.
He stopped by, and the broken car was gone, the truck was gone, and the garage door was up.
And the two other people in his household that can drive that were home. And I'm like,
Yeah, but wasn't
I
my
bet-
car there?
your car was there. I'm
Okay.
like, oh, I bet St. Jimmy and him were doing stuff with the broken car.
Yeah. Rope towing it to the shop.
Yeah.
So
Fun.
I've also helped. So DVD walked me through creating a new character for this game we're going to play with my coworkers. And then I walked my wife
Backgammon?
through it. And so
Excellent. You know what this means? At some point, I'm going to pressure you to DM a game so I can play.
oh, that sounds hard.
Sounds like a guy that's written
know
a
the
book.
rules. Oh. I guess it is all the fun parts of writing a book. You
And if the players are prepared,
you do the
guess
world
who knows the
bidding.
rules too? The players.
What?
Hmm.
That'll never work.
Nice
Megafauna.
callback.
Thanks.
No, my name would be Meg.
Oh,
Fauna.
I also,
Meg A. Fauna.
that was part of my nerd cred. I bought my first minifigure.
Yay!
Oh.
So my new character is a human wizard.
Which is interesting because before this, I've never DM'd for a game that has a human player character in it.
Well, and my wife is going to play as a human sorcerer.
I'm not surprised you guys are the same race. That seems to happen.
Well, she was like, I kind of wanted to see what it was like to play as a human.
come on.
Because humans are interesting.
I think so.
A few of them are.
You're welcome more places. Typically.
So it was also kind of fun when I was creating my backstory because I was asking a lot of direct questions to DVD about his world and different places. And
Which is good.
yeah, I thought it was fun.
I
thought it was a cool way
I've
to do
started
it.
a file that is basically a encyclopedia of my world. So it's just an alphabetical list of things in the world and flushing out as much as I want to at that point, and I can just keep on adding to it.
I
So
one
I need to go and
time,
add that stuff.
I one time started a wiki
That'd be
for
yeah.
one of my
That's wiki awesome.
books, but then the site went down, and I think I lost everything.
You can do something very similar with Microsoft. What's it called?
PowerPoint.
OneNote. That's what it
PowerPoint.
is.
Oh yeah,
Where you create pages, then you can actually create links to other pages in the software. But I found out it can get. I have a couple of them going with for my D&D stuff, and it's nice because you put links, you can put pictures in, but the file size rapidly gets large if you start adding a bunch of pictures.
oh I bet.
I was even making the map with like selectable names, so you click on it and it takes you to the page.
That's cool.
So that's a good tool for DMs out there. Well, then I've got a mixture of that and my notebook. I've been writing the stuff in, but then I've got, I have that in the computer file, but I want to have it.
I personally did not think about D&D at all in the last week.
Oh, well, we need to fix that. You should come over and play.
I was thinking about it quite a bit because I was helping other people
Oh,
come up with stuff.
well, that's why I don't have
And
friends.
I hope I don't over nerd out and scare your friends because I've been really excited about this and I've been over preparing. But we
I
got
brought you all
handouts.
costumes.
I didn't think about that.
So we got,
We're gonna do some LARPing.
we ended up
Light
with
LARPing.
some packaging that had some big pieces of styrofoam. And one of them was like this big rectangle.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, that's like LARPer heaven right there. And my wife was like, you should see if your brother wants any of this foam. I was like,
I'm not a LARPer.
So then my daughter took it and she taped a handle on the back and drew on the front so she can hold it like a shield.
Nice.
So she has a shield now.
That reminds me when DVD and I were children, and we'd get big pieces of.
Oh, the
Styrofoam?
reclining like
Oh yeah,
pedal seat thing. That
but we used it to create GI Joe bases for our GI
Right.
Joe
Oh yeah,
characters or GI Joe action figures.
that's
nice.
some cool ones.
It was fun.
All right, if you guys want to send us anything for our 300th episode,
haven't
which is
Done my
only
nerd cred yet.
oh, I thought you did.
No, I was just
It was my
ripping
nerd
off it.
cred.
Oh, well, I'll do this in the middle of nerd cred.
for
Okay,
it.
sounds good.
Our 300th episode's coming up in 5 weeks.
Very soon. You got to
So,
get stuff into
get
us.
stuff in. We're
So I'm pressuring my son to send
to the
stuff
point
in.
we're getting stuff from our family members.
Previous guest hosts.
Ooh, I could get recordings from Masters Ed and Charlie.
I think I'm going to start recording ones mocking people that haven't sent in.
You can just
I'm
make
Neil
up voices.
Orange Peel.
Oh.
I like to play with cats.
So if you want your real,
No, they're not going to want that. They want to They want to hear it.
if you want to have yourself not
I
mocked,
take pictures and they go on the telly.
then send in your real ones, or we'll have to use the
Sorry,
fake
Neil.
ones.
All right, what's
Send
your
your
nerd
hate mail
cred?
too. Oh, so I showed you when you first got here.
Yes.
I just finished my Castle Plundar Minecraft castle.
Okay.
It's intense.
Yeah,
It's large. It's got huge like bat type wings coming off the sides.
huge tracts of land.
After I finished, I realized there a couple times have been struck by lightning. It's made out of green wool, so I had to patch some holes.
Oh, yeah, you gotta be careful with that.
I'm not sure how to fix that.
The lightning rod.
Does that work?
I have
No.
no idea.
They should make it work. So that's
Turn off
exciting.
weather.
I don't know if I can do that in the realm
Oh.
just for me.
Oh, it's in the realm.
Yeah, I did figure out how to make the realm creative mode just for me.
Oh,
And so I'd have that. I have a actual. There's a website where you can put CAD drawings and then you can view them. You can't do anything other than view them.
yeah,
So I figured out how to control the layers, so I could, and I divide it into slices based on layers.
cool.
So I'd turn them on and then turn them off, and I had to
Wow.
redo some of the wings several times as you get lost, and then only had half of it drawn to save file size. So then I was having to mirror it in my brain as I was doing the other side.
Oh, wow.
It's a good 3-dimensional visualization training.
I just dig tunnels.
I built the USS Enterprise once
I did that once.
to scale.
Yeah, and then I fell lots of times from it and died many times.
Well, I've pushed
and it
St. Jimmy's kids off of it several
it-
times when they'd show
it made a
up.
huge shadow that like I
Oh,
built
yeah.
it over part of my castle. It was like my castle is
Yeah,
constantly
it
at night.
creates a constant nighttime underneath the ship so that there's always monsters spawning under there.
Which is good. Then Kirk can go down and fight him and shoot like
The
cannons
Gorn
at
Did
him.
you
shows up.
have a laser beam built out of redstone blocks coming down like a phaser fire?
No, I didn't get to that point. I
Okay.
did at one point I did make
Did
a
you make the
I made
interior
a Death
decks?
Star that has a
Oh.
green laser shooting down to the ground. So you can climb it up to it.
So you didn't make the interior decks or anything?
Oh, I didn't get that far.
Okay.
That was right about the time I was working on that is when I got invited to the realm.
Oh, all right.
You should put the Enterprise D saucer section crashed
Oh, I
into
should.
the realm.
That
And
would
then
be-
put like a plaque to Deanna Troy.
yes. Make a sign.
Troy was here. The fall of Troy.
Have a whole line of spacecraft of types crashed into the ground. Be a Troy farm.
I'm the wind.
I thought they'd grow more.
All right, if you want to contact us, send us your audio file of you doing an
I
Enginerdy
thought you
Show
were gonna say,
segment,
send us your hate mail.
or if you want to send us hate mail, send it to enginerdyshow@gmail.com.
See care of DVD. No.
Yeah.
I'll read it. I
You
think it's
can
funny.
also find us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search for the Enginerdy Show on there. You can watch us on YouTube, either live
Hopefully.
while we're recording or after the fact. And go to theenginerdyshow.com. You can listen to the latest episode. You can visit our shop. We have a couple t-shirts there.
You can buy my boat.
Is that on the oh.
No.
I should put it on there.
Or you can click through our Amazon link to do your Amazon shopping. Thank you for listening this week. Stay nerdy.
Live long and nerdy.
You have been and always shall be, my friends.